Hello and welcome to the channel. Today's frightening bear attack takes us to a place called Stalked, which is located near the British Columbia area in Canada. Situated in the Rocky Mountains at the highest elevation for a community in Canada lies Stalked. Like Fernie and Sparwood further south, Stalked owes its existence to the discovery of coal by George Mercer Dawson. The community of Stalked was built to house the employees of the mine, and now over 25 years later, boasts two highly productive coal mines that provide the main source of employment in Stalked. Prior to the settlement of the Elk Valley, the area was inhabited by migrant Indians who visited the Hunters Eden each year to harvest fish and game to carry them through the winter. Stalked has dubbed itself the wilderness capital of British Columbia, a well-deserved name, considering the scenery of the Rocky Mountains, the lush and forested slopes, the spectacular alpine meadows, and the clear glacier-fed lakes and streams that surround Stalked. Appropriately, this area is home to large mountain goat, bighorn sheep herds, grizzly bears, and other wildlife that attracts visitors with cameras. British Columbia is bear country, and in the east and west Kootenays, there are approximately 2,000 grizzly bears and over 16,000 black bears. Even though Stalked is bear country, the chances of seeing one are fairly low. In May of 2024, a father and son duo headed west of Highway 43, which is just south of Stalked, so that they could go hunting. The duo were considered average hunters and had both been out in these parts before, so they knew the area well and where the most lucrative prey would be located. When they reached their location, they stalked nearby sheep and goats, trying to figure out which would be the easier target. While deciding, the duo just stood and watched the forest. After about an hour, the father and son decided that they would hunt the goats because of their size. Then they set up and waited, looking down each of their barrels. Not too long after, an almost 700-pound grizzly bear was spotted out of the corner of the son's eyes. It was stalking the duo while still maintaining its distance. So the 36-year-old instantly warned his father, who advised him that it was time to start packing, and slowly. So they started to do just that, while keeping track of the enormous grizzly's whereabouts. The bear had a devious look on its face, as if it knew something horrifying was on its way to take place. With a face even a mother could hate, this was no cute grizzly in any way, shape, or form, but instead a monster in the flesh. After the father and son duo finished packing their things, they began to walk back to the vehicle that was parked about 2 miles from where they were located. Each and every time they looked over their shoulder, the bear was spotted, either trying to hide its big body while moving forward or just standing still, giving them the same menacing look as before. The father and son duo's hearts were pounding aggressively. Approximately 3 minutes into the walk, the father suggested that one of them walk backwards with their rifle pointed at the bear just in case it charged, because a surprise attack from this size of a bear would ensure fatal injuries. His son listened and decided to take on the task. After following and watching the duo's new strategy, the bear seemed to grow extremely furious. It did not like this and started to feel threatened. With it not even have being 30 seconds of this backwards walking thing, the bear charged. The son sent a shot that connected and hit the grizzly in its front shoulder, but that didn't stop it from pursuing. The duo then began to run, but the bear caught up in no time and slammed into the son until it made its way on top of him, thrashing and tearing. The father could only watch as he called for help, because if he shot, it could end up hitting his son, and having that on his conscience was out of the equation. The son fought for his life, constantly blocking his face to prevent the powerful blows from destroying his precious face. The bear kept slashing, leaving the man filled with blood and near unconsciousness. In a strange turn of events, the grizzly stopped the onslaught and disappeared into the forest. The 36-year-old man was broken and could no longer walk, so leaving the area would be impossible. With his father being 60 and not that strong, they decided to wait for the authorities while keeping an eye out. The rescue was difficult because of the steep terrain and unpredictable weather, according to Elkford Search and Rescue Search Manager Kevin Etherton, who was on the scene after British Columbia Emergency Services asked for help. The duo were about 500 meters deep into the bush in some very thick and rugged terrain which grows in pretty thick. Etherton said he called nearby crews in Sparwood who used ropes to get the man about 200 meters down the mountain, where he was then placed on a stretcher before Fernie SAR crews retrieved him via helicopter. The crews attached the man's stretcher to a cable, then hoisted him up into the helicopter while RMCP and wildlife officers stood guard around them, Etherton said. There's a wounded grizzly bear out there that has already done some damage, and that should be on the top of our minds before we go out there, he said. The man was flown to a helipad in Elkford, where a Stars Air ambulance then flew him to Foothills Medical Center in Calgary, around 130 kilometers to the northwest, police said. The release said the man was in stable condition when he left the scene. Conservation officers searched for the bear and found it dead, having succumbed to its wounds. Thank you to the many personnel, both volunteer and paid, who worked together to conduct a successful rescue, Sparwood Search and Rescue said in a Facebook post. And thanks to members of the public for yielding to the numerous emergency vehicles and giving us room to work safely. Now, after all this, I have a few questions for you. Do you think you know why the bear attacked the duo? Would you have done anything different in this scenario? And would you go head up with a grizzly bear for $1 million? Let us know your answers in the comments section down below, and we will be glad to view them there. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also turn on post notifications to never miss out on gruesome stories like this one. See you next time.